An isosceles triangle has congruent sides of 20 centimeters. The base is 10 centimeters long. What is the area of this triangle? First of all, what is an isosceles triangle? Well, an isosceles triangle is a triangle where two angles have the same measure, and the sides opposite to those two angles also have the same measure. So, this angle and this angle have the same measurement, and this side and this side have the same measurement. Now, we are asked to find the area of this triangle. Well, how do we do that? To find the area of this triangle, we can multiply the length of the base of this triangle into the height of this triangle, and then divide by 2, like this. We know the base of this triangle is 10 centimeters long. But what is the height of this triangle? How do we find that? We can think of an isosceles triangle as two right-angled triangles put together. This side of the isosceles triangle is just the hypotenuse of the right-angled triangle. We also know that the base of an isosceles triangle is 10 centimeters long. So, to find the length of one leg of the right-angled triangle, we can just divide 10 centimeters by 2 to get 5 centimeters. Because in this isosceles triangle, the height, this line, bisects the base or divides it into two equal parts. So this length is 5 centimeters and this length is 5 centimeters. So now we know that one leg of the right-angled triangle is 5 centimeters long, and the hypotenuse is 20 centimeters long. Great! We can use the Pythagorean theorem to find the length of the other leg of this right-angled triangle. We know that the length of the hypotenuse is 20 centimeters. So, the square of the hypotenuse is 20 centimeters times 20 centimeters, which is 400 centimeters squared. We also know that one leg of the right-angled triangle is 5 centimeters. So, the square of this leg is 5 centimeters times 5 centimeters, which is 25 centimeters squared. So now, to find the square of the other leg of the right-angled triangle, we can do 400 centimeters squared minus 25 centimeters squared, which is 375 centimeters squared. Perfect. Now, to find the length of this other leg of the right-angled triangle, we can take the square root of 375 centimeters squared. So, the length of the other leg of the right-angled triangle, or the height of this isosceles triangle, is 19.37 centimeters. Perfect! We now know the length of the base of this isosceles triangle and the height of this isosceles triangle. So now we can find the area of this triangle. So the area of this isosceles triangle is 96.85 centimeters squared.
A baseball diamond is a square that is 90 feet on each side. If a player throws the ball from second base to home, how far will the ball travel? A pitcher throws a baseball to a player who stands on the home plate. The player at the home plate, the batter, has to hit the baseball. Once he hits the ball, he has to run from first base to second base to third base and finally back to the home plate. The other team has to get the ball and try to tag the batter before he makes it to either a base or to home plate. If the batter is tagged with the ball before he makes it to a base or home plate, he is out. And if he makes it back to home plate, then he gets a point. So, a baseball player wants to throw a baseball from second plate to the home plate. In other words, he wants to throw this distance. We can think of a baseball field as a square or as two right-angled triangles. The diagonal of this square is just the hypotenuse of a right-angled triangle. But what about the legs of the right-angled triangle? Well, we are told that the sides of the square are 90 feet. So, the legs of the right-angled triangle are 90 feet long. Well, how do we find the length of the hypotenuse? We can apply the Pythagorean theorem. We know the length of each leg is 90 feet. So 90 squared plus 90 squared is 16,200 feet squared, which is equal to the hypotenuse squared. So, the hypotenuse is equal to the square root of 16,200, which is 127.28 feet. The baseball will travel 127.28 feet. Jill's front door is 42 inches wide and 84 inches tall. She purchased a circular table that is 96 inches in diameter. Will the table fit through the front door? The best way to get the table through the door is to turn the table at a diagonal. So, we have to find the length of this diagonal. Let's apply the Pythagorean theorem. We know the legs of the triangle are 42 inches and 84 inches. And we want to find the length of the hypotenuse. So, 42 inches squared plus 84 inches squared is 8,820 inches squared, which is equal to the hypotenuse squared. To find the length of the hypotenuse, we can take the square root of 8,820, which is 93.9 inches. So the diagonal is 93.9 inches. Since the diameter of the table is 96 inches and the diagonal is 93.9 inches, the table will not fit through the door.